Hey everybody, we made it to another Wednesday. Hope everyone had a great week. It's so glad to talk to everybody today. We are doing part one, which is very exciting. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you today for part one. I think it's a little blue, so the picture. Let's see if I can fix that really quickly because I changed the white balance, but I think I went a little crazy. So let's see. So I'm just going to bring that temperature back a little warmer. Let me see what that does here. Let's see. So the temperature. Oh, okay. So that was skin tone. So let me go to temperature. Okay, that's a little better, a little warmer at least, right? Okay, so I think that helped. So let's see who we have here today. Patty, how's it going? Great to see you all the way from Illinois. And we have Colette all the way from Wisconsin, who's currently in Georgia. Great to see you, ladies. Cody, how's it going? Great to see you, my friend. Mr. Michael, how's it going? Cody, I believe you're in the Minnesota area, if I'm not mistaken. And Michael McClung is from Maryland. Great to see you. Gary, how's it going? Great to see you. Gary, I believe you're in the Midwest. Could you tell me what area of the country you're in, sir? Nebraska. Oh, cool. So, great part of the country, Nebraska. That is fantastic. So, what a great group of people already. Part one is basically going in with the white mixture, and so we're going to go in with the white mixture and then go in with the Airbrush India ink. And we have Mr. Air Todd. How's it going? Great to see you. Oh, Todd's birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. Great to talk to you, sir. How's everything going all the way in San Diego? Gary's in Central PA. That's right, near Hershey. Very cool. Love that area. Very beautiful. Very beautiful area. So that is so fantastic. So really cool. So let me get my glasses on here. And let's see. Okay. I need a little more light in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that on just a little bit here. That's a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. And let me see if I can compensate by taking this light off just a little bit. So I'm so glad you're here on your birthday. That is quite an honor. Thank you for sharing part of your birthday with us. And wish we had some cake. We definitely would be having a birthday cake with you, Todd. So, as you can see, the first thing we do is we are going to come in with the white mixture, which is Createx 50/50 Illustration White, which is a great paint that was Drew Blair helped formulate. So that is great. I love it because I'm working on tinted paper, and what I want to do is establish the lights. And once I establish the lights, then I can come in and get some value with the India ink. And that's going to help me because it will be an underpainting, but I make sure I don't go too dark. And then after this, starting next week, we'll be going into the portrait of her with the Wicked paints, which is exciting. Not when I'm not celebrating. Oh, you're not celebrating until Sunday, Todd. Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, it's better on the weekends. More people could come. You can get more presents, that sort of thing, I think. I think that's a good thing. Let me see if I could just tweak this a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to go to color and light, and I'm going to go to temperature. I think it's a little too much on. That looks a little better. And let's see, right there. That's good. And let's go with contrast. Maybe we can boost his contrast a little bit so you all can see it a little bit better. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's all about you guys anyway. You guys and girls. And so very cool. People wishing Todd a happy birthday, which is excellent. So I want to get a kneaded eraser. And of course, you know, I moved my studio, so things are a little bit up in the air, but I'll get reacclimated shortly. Let's see, or newly acclimated to the new. So I have this really cool blue kneaded eraser, and it's by Faber-Castell, which makes really good kneaded erasers and other products. I like their pastels as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to calm down some of these pencil lines because I'm coming in with the white mixture and I don't want to tempt fate and go too dark with the pencil lines, right? And so right now what I want to do is I want to put the face only stencil because I want to put the white in her face, but I don't want overspray. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for the face only stencil that I made just minutes before the live stream started. And let's see, so just going to put this right here, and you see how beautiful that fits. Okay. And we'll just put this over. Okay, so how's the cat doing with the change? Air Todd says, yeah, she's doing okay. You know, she's happy, making sure her kitty litter box is clean, make sure she's fed. She's very comfortable, so I think she's doing really good. So thanks for asking, my friend. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 50/50 illustration white by Createx. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 50/50. So I'm going to 40/11 it, right? So we're going to take some 40/11 and we're going to put that in. The reason why I'm doing 40/11 and not water, because the 40/11 will kind of, you know, melt it a little bit quicker. Oh, that is so great, Michael. Yes. So I'm so glad, and a couple of extra little thank you things for your patience, Michael, and thank you for taking a chance with my airbrush. I really appreciate it, and I really did double time making sure everything was perfect before it left the studio. So important that it is 100%, you know, Mike, it really is. And okay, so put a little bit more. I like it very diluted. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in my Omni, the Vega 1000. And let's see here. Now I gave it a good cleaning last night, but I did not test it. So we will see how this is going. I'm going to put this aside. I do have some of the paper here, and make sure the airbrush is operational. Always test it out. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to switch the this one air hose doesn't have a pack valve, so a MAC valve, so definitely want to control the air. Let me make sure I'm getting the exact flow I'm looking for. Okay, let's see if we can zoom on in here. So my goal is to work on the large light areas. Not the highlights, but the large light areas. So right now I'm going to work on the forehead with you. Let me lighten this up a bit. I'm going to change the ISO to 400. And this way I could make it a lot lighter. Now I can lower the shutter speed. And that's one of the good things about using a DSLR. Okay, so here goes. We are going to work on her forehead and work on the light area of her forehead. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 3 inches from her with the large area of the forehead. And oh, Colette says no magnets on the shield. Very, very astute. Yes, I got to make sure I put them on there. Thank you so much, Colette. And so, yes. And Mike says, I know you were in the middle of moving. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your patience with that, Mike. Definitely. Here, Todd says, Tim, wonder how you're going to like it coming from an Iwata guy. So Air Todd is asking you, Michael. He's wondering how you're gonna like the Badger coming from the world of Iwata, which is gonna be a great thing to find out. Okay, so I'm really about 4 inches away. Maybe even further, because the further I'm away, the larger the cone. And with the large cone, what's going to happen is you're going to get a more even, less blotchy spray pattern. And you can see it looks like I didn't do anything. Let's zoom out. And you can see how it's lighter there. Now, I did do a little bit more, but we can always erase that, so that's no problem, right? Gary says, do you always use water-based versus urethane paints? Yes, I usually stick with Wicked. I like Wicked a lot, Gary. I love Wicked a lot. Now I do like water-based only because I live right now in a smaller space, so definitely I'll stay away from urethanes. And you can see right now I'm working on the maxilla over here. And just getting this area a little bit. So now that I'm working more with color and not just in black and white, is that a little bit lighter is great, because then I can be more daring with I can be a lot more daring with glazing after this. And I'm just going to make sure I'm not getting the give I want with this brush that I normally have. Okay, now this is going to be better. It was a little stiff coming out, the trigger, so this should be better. And Michael says, Air Todd, do you have a badger? Oh, he does have a badger, and it's been down a while. Okay. So Michael knows about badger. You know what I would love to do, Gary, but I think I would probably kill myself, is I would love to work with oil paints through the airbrush, but it's just too deadly. But that's something I would love to do, sir. Now I'm working on the tip of her nose. I'm going right up to the glabella, which is between both eyes, and it's that little indentation from the frontal bone. Yeah, so this airbrush, I am not liking the way it's working, so it is being put aside for now. And let's see, we'll go and we'll use this one here, which is my Extreme Peach Seed Arrow. And I know it's going to treat me much better. It's just going to be more cleaning. Let's see. We'll take the top from here. And I think this is going to be much better. Let's see. Get the water out of there. Okay, now we're in business, guys. And Mr. Brad, how's it going? Great to see you, my friend. How you been all the way from Manitoba? Now we're doing good. So now I could zoom in and we could look at the retroorbicularis oculi fat pad, which is between the upper eyelid crease and the eyebrow, but on the outside. And we'll paint that in. Just so much more control right now. Feels good. And let's see, going right up the upper lateral cartilage on her nose. So we want to make sure we get that shape correct. Great. Okay, feeling good about that. So that's good. And we'll get this whole lighting situation a little bit better. It's just going to take a little of me tweaking things. Let me see if I can change the white balance on my camera. Let's see how this... That's a little bit better as far as the white balance is concerned. Okay. And then the glare thing. So let's see. So I want to do something here. So if you guys, it will be worth the wait. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one of my spotlights, my studio lights, and we're going to see if that works. And then maybe we can kill these big lights here. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so I do have a studio light here, but it's only the top part. Now I just have to find the stand and then a plug, and we will be in business. So, let's see. There was a bunch of stands, I believe, in here. Nope, not there. So, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see how this one goes. It's really a stand for a flash, but it'll have to do. Let's see how high this goes. Oh, I think it may go high enough. Put this on. And I think it will just help the lighting situation because I can't handle the light. It's a little, the glare is pretty rough. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. Okay, we're going to put that close and maybe bounce it off the ceiling like I did before. Lower it a little bit and then bounce it off the ceiling. Helps to be a photographer when you're doing lighting. See? Okay. Now I have one studio light here, and if I could kill this. Okay, so that looks like it's a little bit better, actually, and we just have to move this so it doesn't glare. I think that's better. What do you guys feel? Is that better? Let's see. Yeah, I like that better. It's just can't have the light glaring off of the acetate. Let's see. That's much better. What do you guys think? Now all I have to do is lighten things up. Okay, and we'll go to effects. And let's see. Temperature. Okay, it's almost back to normal, right guys? And the tint, I like that much better. Okay. Okay, I could live with this. So we're back in business. It's just I wanted to make sure that I was giving a good product. So let's see. Oh, great. Brad says better. I appreciate that. And Ryan, how's it going? Great to see you. Yes, starting something new, my friend. This is part 1, so I'm very excited about it. And so Michael McClung says the Badger has its, you have the Renegade and it has the crown in front. Tried cutting them part off from the front. Oh, I see, because some people want more control than that crown cap. I can understand that. Definitely. All right, so cool. Okay. Now, got the right airbrush. We raise the air here. Okay. Now we can go ahead and continue. Thanks for your patience, guys. This looks much better. And so right now I'm going to be working here with the maxilla, right here going into the zygomatic bone. So zygomatic bone. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm happy with that. I'm going to let that kind of sit for a while. Everything looks like where it should be. Maybe just a little bit more over here in the chin area. There we go. Hey Travis, great to see you. How's everything? Oh, you're doing clear coat. That's pretty exciting. I love to hear that stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to lift off the face only shield. And you can see it looks like we didn't do much, but we actually did a whole lot. Now I'm looking for something that is called the hand only. And we'll find it. Let's see. Now I know I cut the hand only. And if I didn't, no, I definitely cut the hand only. Let's see. So here's the face only. This is the silhouette, fur, and the hair. Maybe it's over here still, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, looks like I didn't cut it out. No worries. And we'll just put this over here. And let's go ahead and work on her hand. And we can work on the hand without any stencils or anything. I'm just going to lightly spray in the lights of her hand here. Let's make this happen. Raise the air pressure a little bit. And I'm about, believe it or not, 3.5 inches away. And there you go. And then we can erase away some things we don't want. Okay, so now we can look at this, and I really don't see that bright light anywhere else, so we don't have to worry about that. And looking at this here, I think we're fine. So what I want to do now is get a semi-aggressive eraser like this Knock by Mono. So that's really good. And Michael says, Tim, when I get your airbrush, I'm going to start the Suzanne Summers. Looking forward to seeing that. That is so great. And so that is very cool. Okay, so now my job is basically just erasing some of the excess of this white mixture that I put in. And I'm going to be very light with that. And I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. Okay. Now this is all having to do with doing glazes later in the game here. Let's see. And I'm using Pure Ref for my reference. So normally I was not going to do tonight's live stream because my mom's 93rd birthday, but she wasn't feeling that well with a cold, so we are going to do that on Friday. So that's how the show went on, you know. Otherwise it wasn't going to. Travis says roughing it is always the fun part, loosely making the image. Yeah, definitely. You're more free, right, Ryan? I mean, right, Travis? Definitely. I feel that as well. Okay. I'm just going to lightly get rid of the lines for her. And we're going to come in with the Airbrush and India ink for that. And right over here we have the lower eyelid. Just put that in, just like right there. And with the Retro Bicularis Oculite Fat Pad, this is, it's not the whole thing. And then here, it's on the inside, it's dark. And a lot of times the adjacent shape describes the shape more than the shape itself. Ryan says, you tell Mom if she wants to see you on her birthday, she can tune in like the rest of us. No, she's not impressed with my artwork. She can see it anytime she wants, right? Let's see. We'll just kind of work this out. Now her hands is a good spot because with her hands there's a lot of detail I can pull out. Let's see, like right here. So we'll just come. Hey Ryan, thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. That is so amazing. Thank you for your friendship and hanging out with me on a Wednesday night. It really means the world to me. I just can't believe, you know, you guys, you know, so many great things on Netflix and everything that you just decide to hang out with me and not only that, support the live stream. I just want to say thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart, sir. And always a pleasure with your comments and your expertise, Ryan. So thank you so much for that. You are amazing. So that is so cool. And I tell you, I look forward to these Wednesday nights, you know. I mean, all day on Wednesday. I'm like, tonight's the live stream, you know. It really is a lot of fun to paint and hang out and learn about art with you all, you know. I learned so much from you guys as well. It's unbelievable. Let's see. You guys all have some really great skills and just great questions. And Ryan is Canadian. I just think Canadians are just amazing people. Just Really incredible. You Canadians are just really fantastic. So here's a little spin. I have the illustration white in here. So what I'm going to do is, since I have a background, I'm going to hit those areas that are white in the background. So I'm going to put in my border, and let's see. Let's put the border in here. So I really love doing full environmental portraits. You know, it tells more of a story. And this, of course, is another in my Persephone series, Persephone in the Underground. And I plan on doing a show somewhere, like a gallery or something like that, and they'll all hang together. And Travis says, sometimes I use Sorel transfer paper and I ease it down almost nothing so it can, oh yes, definitely. So you definitely use Sorel paper, but do you go very lightly or do you erase it as you go? So Sorel paper is very good, by the way. I really enjoy it. Okay, so now we're going to work on some of the light areas. And so I always love these like fluorescent lights. We're going to put that in. Let me get one of these low profile magnets right here. And I try to always go away from the shield, right? That's always important, to go away from the shield. There we go. So see, now we have that light already. She's already in an environment which I love. There we go. Really using getting full use out of the white while it's in my airbrush, which is really cool. Let's see. Wow, Travis, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. That is so great. Thank you, sir. Again, thank you for your wonderful comments, all of your hanging out with us on a Wednesday, taking your time out of your busy schedule, and all the interesting shows and everything you get to watch and hang out with me. It is such an honor, and it's even a greater honor that you show your support for the live stream. This is something that I started like around 2016. I don't think I actually missed one since 2018 was the last time I actually missed a Wednesday night at 9:30. So even through the shots with COVID, when I took the shots and got sick, I still did the live streams. But it's real worth it. Great people like you and Ryan, with your support. It just lets me know I'm doing the right thing. And thank you. And your support means a lot. It enables me to spend more time getting ready for the live stream. Like today, the live stream, I basically started getting ready for the live stream probably around 3 o'clock. And I worked on the line drawing and everything during the week because I don't want the live streams to be an afterthought. I want it to be like a full-blown work of art that I do from the beginning to end. And Travis says, always love following you, Tim. Lots of great people on here. So true. Amazing artists in the community. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you guys and girls is what really makes this live stream so special. I'm going to come back in with her hand, and on the first knuckle here, it's a little more light hitting it, so I'm just going to get a little bit more on these knuckles right here. There we go. And maybe just a little bit here. Hey, Sans, how's it going? Great to see you. Michael, right? So fantastic to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it, sir. Thank you for your support and hanging out and your great comments. I just want to say thank you so much. Really means a lot to me, Sans. And like I say, you guys keep this going where I could spend like a day and a half preparing for part 1 of a live stream. And, you know, helps pay the bills and, you know, get better lighting and stuff like that. So it really is great. So thank you so much for that. And during the class, I'm going to be working on getting better lighting in the new studio. The other studio, I had it, you know, just perfect. So it's just going to get a while before I get all the lights correct and everything. But so cool, Michael. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. So some great super chats already. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so we have some lights over here, but I kind of have them as I'm gonna have to kind of draw them in a little bit. And they're just like fluorescent lights, so it's kind of nice. It has that overspray, doesn't it? Which is really cool. But I can put this here to cover that. And I like the idea of kind of calming down the pencil lines to begin with. Very great group today. So fantastic. And always remember, your pencil lines are like your little training wheels, so make sure that you don't get rid of them too soon. Michael McClung, thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out every Wednesday, seeing you. It's always a pleasure. Great comments and great ideas and technical knowledge. It's just really wonderful. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang out and talk with us. And also, thank you for your support. It really means a lot to me. It keeps me going and keeps this live stream on a weekly basis, which I love. I wouldn't want to do anything else on a Wednesday. So this is above and beyond, sir. Thank you. Let me give you some thank you confetti and hearts here. Perfect. Mr. JC, how's it going? Great to see you. How are you, sir? JC, all the way from the Georgia area. So glad you're here. So that is great. And now we're going to do this third light here. And good overspray is perfect in that situation, right? Given that kind of environment. And let's see, where else could we use this white here? Oh, okay. So we have it there. And then we also have it on the other side of the window right here. So what I'm going to do is kind of just quiet this down a little bit. You don't want to get rid of your pencil lines, you just want to quiet it down, that's all. And that's important. San says, you're welcome. Yes, it's Michael. Thank you so much for your wonderful live streams. Thank you for hanging out and for your support, my friend. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure, Michael. I'm so glad you're here, sir. Okay, so now we're going to make sure we have a good spray. So we have these lights are actually reflected either, I think she's in the train station, so it's sort of the, which is really cool, like outside the window in the train station. So she's in the subway car, but it's the train station lights that are over here and here, which are really cool. And yes, two Michaels are better than one. Yes, exactly, my friend. Definitely. JC says, great, Tim is going great, thanks. Hope you're all moving situated. Thank you so much, JC. Yes, things are getting a lot more familiar, and little by little. Today, last couple days, have full workflow, and that's getting good. So I'm able to get the work done as I did in my other studio, which is fantastic. So I got the plotter in and working and a lot of other things really going well. Okay, so now I'm going to do the light on the floor, which is the reflection from the lights above. And you can see that's basically the theme with each of these paintings, you know. And so I don't want to overdo it with the white, right? You want to make sure that you can basically calm it down. And that's why I like the 50-50 illustration white in the beginning, because what you do in the beginning you can definitely calm down. It's like super erasable, which is really important. So that's a plus. And it's a little bit lighter here on the floor, so I'm just going to dust some lights here. Yes, it's so true. In this studio, it is wider than my other studio, right? So I definitely have room to the left and to the right, which is really fantastic. So yeah, and then I could move back. So definitely, it's very comfortable, and I'm very blessed to have a studio like this, you know, on short notice. So I'm so happy. And this is too light, so, but what I can do right now is perhaps I could get rid of this pencil line here. So I go with the 19th century French academic approach, where you do a careful line drawing, then you come in with the tonal kind of grisaille or underpainting, and then from there do light glazes of color. So that's basically what I do with airbrush, you know, which is really good. And let's see here. So we do have some really nice lights in her leather jacket. So I'm just going to put them in. right here. Just a little bit right here. Getting nice control with this mixture. And then right here. And you know, it's really not 100% necessary, but it's nice to have a head start. Let's come down. And I just increased my distance to get a much more even kind of approach to everything. And okay, so very happy with this. Let me see if the figures in the background are they white enough, but we do have some blowout lights here. So let's kind of come here. Right there. And right here. And you can see it's already beginning to have kind of a really cool environmental feel to it. There we go. And it's like an off-white, so I'll just put that in here. On this side, right here, a little off-white. I can always glaze yellow on top. Okay. And there's just little areas of light flesh, so what I'll do is I'll come in with white at first, and then I'll glaze flesh tones on top of it. It'll give it more of a glow, you know. And more of a softness to everything. Okay. And I could go ahead and get rid of some of the pencil lines. And what that does, it will give it more of like a bouquet or bokeh. And just a little bit of light in between there. And right here. And just a little bit of light behind her. Okay. And then right here it gets a little more intense with the white. Might as well get the intensity down right away. Why wait, right? And just kind of see, because the way that it works, it's a lot easier to paint dark on light as the other way around. So JCS is someone I know, and no, it's definitely somebody that I found, which is really cool. And so that is great. And it's so hard to find a painting that you know, that you're really excited about. So I'm really happy to find her. Okay. So now I'm going to really assess this situation here and figure out, is there anything that I need to kind of, any kind of lights that I've missed, intense lights. I think probably a little bit up here. Just some sort of Vermeer type of lights, you know? Kind of like the way the environment kind of, you can probably like get the whole essence of the painting with just white and gray. Oh, no glove today, that's for sure. uh, I don't like using the glove too much when I work in color. uh, it's interesting, I kind of like the glove when I'm doing just the airbrush and India ink, so that's I guess I'm a lot more careful not to touch, because with the India ink I tend to be a lot more free. So now what we're going to do, great question, JC. Uh, let's see. Oh, JC says, Michael, that's why his cousin would say under the basketball rim, elbow room, elbow the heck out of us to get the rebound. Oh, man, yeah, so he'd be like Dennis Rodman, right, sir? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dump out the white mixture, and then we're going to start coming in with the Airbrush India ink, and so that's going to be pretty cool. Shine says, Travis says, Grisai and Macabre are his favorite blend. Interesting. That is so cool. Now, are those wicked colors, sir? I will be right back, and let me go ahead and dump out what's in this brush. But I can definitely say it's been a very successful white mixture here. Let's see if we could kind of clean this out a little bit. And then we'll go and give it a really good cleaning. Okay, so I have everything I need, and I will be right back. There's just one more thing I need to go over there. Question is, where is it? Oh, there it is. All right, guys, I will see you in 2 moments. Let me disengage my airbrush from the Quick Connect. There we go. Be right back, guys. Okay, thanks guys. Appreciate it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my detail mixture, which is from my my Airbrush India ink set, and I'm going to dilute that 1-to-1 with water. Now I also did it with 4011 and it worked really well too. So I'm going to go ahead, and I have water in this bottle here. I'm just going to just a 1-to-1 dilution, and that's going to work really well because it's going to enable me to go and get detail and get the most amazing detail in the world, which is great. Alright, so and I want to get the right hose because I have a pack valve with this airbrush. I don't need Mac valve at the airbrush, which is very cool. Alright, so let me go ahead and put this aside, and we're going to, as you can see, we're going to blend that. So I tend not to mix in the airbrush unless I have to. So I always like mixing outside the airbrush. Just a little more control. I'm a control freak, I guess. Alright, so now we're going to do the eyes, nose, and mouth. So I have that here. And that's going to give us some nice detail as soon as I find it. Here we go. Okay, so now we're just going to take this off. Move this border over to the side. Don't need it right now. Let's put this over here. Okay. So we want to make sure that this is perfect. Let me see what I missed. Let's see. Michael says, JC, you know there's a Michael McClung that plays for Georgetown. Oh, that's pretty cool. Right in the Maryland area. Not related to him, but that he knows of from his drinking days. That's pretty funny. Shine then says, or Travis says, I was talking about the style of art. Grayscale and dark. Oh, yeah. Grisaille and macabre. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. Great. No, those are the Grisaille and macabre is definitely different art styles. So you were right. You're right on the money. Let me go ahead and make sure I get this correct here. Okay. I'm going to put this and kind of put these magnets here. Okay, so now I'm just going to test it on this test piece of paper. Definitely lower the air pressure at the pack valve. Okay, looks good. Alright, here goes nothing, guys. Remember, I'm just going to go very lightly. I don't want to oversaturate. Can always go over it again, so... There we go. Now we're going to hit her nostrils. And now the way I devised her lips is kind of interesting because I do a peel back method where I will peel back the top lips, paint them, and do the same with the bottom lip. So let's do the top lip first. And we'll peel this back, use a little magnet, little magnet action here. And then put a magnet here to keep the bottom one down. Alright, let's see how this works. Very lightly. And we'll let that dry. And then we'll do the same. Now the bottom lip is pretty light. I think I'm going to leave the bottom lip alone, but I may just lightly spray it, like super lightly, just to indicate it, right? So when you do your masking or your whatever you want to call them, you want to make sure you plan like a chess player. And let's just super lightly do the bottom lip. I'm going to be about maybe 5 inches away. I'm just going to super lightly just touch that. Okay. Put this over here because her lips are so vibrant, you know, and I don't want to lose that. Okay, we'll just cover that. And now we'll do another pass. And we'll do the irises. And this is just the mapping out. That's all it is. Whoa, so I did get a little bit too dark, so you don't want that to happen. And we can always go over it again. Let's do her eyebrows again. But paying attention to where her eyebrows are full and where they are darker and, you know, where they are more scarce. Okay, so we're going to lift this up and see how good or bad we did. I think we did good. I'm having good feelings about this. Okay, so look at that. So very good. So very good beginning. So now I have my airbrush here, and let's see if we could start fleshing her out a little bit. Go. A zygomatic bone. Right over here, the side of it goes into the maxilla, into the mandible. Now her nose is tricky, so we want to really get this right because of all the anatomical structures of the nose. Let me see if I do have that information here. I think I do have a nose anatomy slide right here. So notice that the nose has three different elements, 3 on each side, 6 total. So right here you can see the top part, maybe the top third, is the nasal bones, or the nasalis, I believe. And then you have the upper lateral cartilage in the middle, and then on the bottom you have what is called the alar cartilage. So the only bones are on top. All this is cartilage. The alar cartilage is very interesting because it definitely has a ledge to it, and we'll see it really a lot stronger in this particular piece than normal. So let's zoom in and see if we could examine where her alar cartilage is. And the upper lip and nostrils are the hardest for you. Yeah, for me too. and definitely the nostrils are tough. Ryan says bad nostrils can really destroy a portrait. It really can give you a hard time, can it, sir? That's for sure. It sure can. Let's see right here. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to be super light. And that's the upper lateral cartilage right there we spoke of. The bottom part of the nose there. So, okay, so we're getting there, right? So we're looking at her anatomy, not so much looking at it as a nostril or anything, just looking at those anatomical forms, recognizing them. And by recognizing these anatomical forms is where the real character of the model comes out, because of the individualized anatomical structures that they have, that we all have. How do we recognize someone across the street is because of these large anatomical forms. Here we go. Best advice I could ever give you is to always make sure that you study your anatomy. If you're doing portraits and it's a big part of your living, then definitely, study what not so much the anatomy books that you get like in art school, they're so incomplete, but what you want to do is start looking at plastic surgeon manuals. And oh, cool. So absolutely, Travis says portraits are tricky. Travis also says he loves the challenge of a portrait. One of his absolute favorites. You have to do peak work perfection. Yes. And Michael says no, it's not. It's not. That's funny. And Ryan says the self-portrait is one of the biggest challenges. Yeah, they really are. I think I did my first self-portrait when I was 16, and I didn't like it. And of course, here is the mental fat on top of the mental protuberance right here. And then right underneath is the orbicularis oris, this muscle that goes around like a rubber band, and it kind of presses that in. So you're always going to see a dark line underneath the lower lip. Hey Bobby, how's it going? Great to see you, sir. How's everything? Oh, I'm thinking I was on Facebook. Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook in a while. It's a great thing, but haven't been on a while. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you made it, Bobby. Now, Bobby, what part of the States are you from? I always love to hear where you guys are all from, guys and girls. And we zoom out, you can see things are starting to really flesh out, no pun intended. So now what I want to do is I want to put the face only, cover it, and let's see, or maybe the hair only. Let's see, what can we do here? This is the fur of her jacket. Here's the hair only, everybody. So let's make this happen. Let's see. Oh, Michael says he'll shave all his hair before he tries a self-portrait. Let's see, make sure little piece didn't get cut here. There we go. We'll put this here so we can work on her hair a little bit. Just kind of block it in without worrying about getting overspray. Keeping everything as neat as possible is always a really good goal, definitely. And since I am going to be working on the hair, I'm going to put back this border stencil. Keeping everything as clean as possible, guys. Let's see. All right, so now let's go ahead and start working on some of the darks of her hair, which would be great. Oh, Cape Cod, Scott McKay country, very cool. Steve Leahy, yeah, very, very cool place. A lot of great art museums in Boston and Cambridge. Really love it there. So cool. And let's see. Travis says, Ryan, let's start a self-portrait painting yourself. Be different. Oh, that's cool. Air Todd says, Tim, you think you can cut the film with the Cricut or Cameo? Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the route to go. So I am going to come out with a video about that pretty soon. And I think that will be very helpful for you guys. See if we can get this here. Oh, whoop, the hair. So let's start it. Whoop, there's a little piece here. There we go. And right now I'm just hitting some of the larger dark masses of her hair. And it's nice because it's going to create, you know, a nice map for the painting. And like I said, this is an India ink underpainting, and this is for the large painting and working in with the wicked paints. So I always like doing an underpainting. And why I like working with my Airbrush India inks, because it doesn't trap the pencil lines, so I don't have to worry about that. One of the things you'll see in my wicked paintings is that there are no pencil lines, no traces of pencil. And that's because of the Airbrush India inks. And it's going to give a nice structure, you know. And Ryan says he did one a few months ago, Travis. He'll try again next year. Oh, cool. I did a self-portrait a while ago. That one I liked. First I did a photo session in my photo studio, and that worked out. It's going to give some really nice structure to her. Just going to very lightly dust this part of her hair. And then when I lift it, you're going to see it's going to have a nice feel to it. And right now, this is just, you know, mapping things out. So now, maybe we could start working on some of the structure of her hand, because her eyes and her hand are, you know, the star of this show here. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so you see how that's like really coming together. One of the things I want to do is I have a face only shield, and I may use a couple of shields here if I can find it. There we go. And let's see, because I want to do the dark that is, you know, underneath her chin. That's a powerful contrasting form, so we want to put them in as much as possible. There we go. Okay. Now, do I have this little area kind of mapped out? That's the question. We might have it, we might not. I don't think we do. I think that's getting a little bit wishful thinking there. Let's see. Move this over here. Okay, so we're going to work on the dark. And what that's going to do is, like I always say, the adjacent shape will often describe the shape more than the shape itself. And those who follow me or my students probably hear that all the time when you're painting. Hear me talking. Perpendicular and not parallel. This way you have control over where you're spraying. If you're going parallel, chances are you might go further from where you want to spray. And I'm going to use my freehand shield here. Okay, so we have her fur on her. But you're going to see when I lift this, you're going to see what I did really adds some structure to her face and brings her chin further to us and her neck further back. And this is the structure that we need to have. Oh, right here on her hand. Very light, but there's still... Just pay attention when you're painting in shadows that you're not going dark, and you try and keep the values compressed as much as possible. Our instinct is to create contrast that's not there, so always be wary of that. Keep the values pretty close to one another. Alright, so I'm going to lift this up and see what we have so far. And oh, Bobby says, is this the same painting you just finished like 2 weeks ago? No, totally different, but part of the same theme, part of Persephone in the underground. So she's a goddess, and she is hanging out in modern day subways throughout the world. So, you know, like late at night or something like that, which is really something like a spin on the old myth that I wanted to really touch on. Travis says, Tim, have you ever done a body or face airbrush work? I've done a few Halloween paint jobs on some pretty ladies. Oh, you mean actually paint on them? No, not yet. I would like to do some face painting. That would be fun, I think. And you've done some for Halloween. Wow. And it make good money, Travis. How did that go? And Ryan says he did one a few years ago. Oh, talking about the self-portrait. Okay. Bobby says he cut 10 mil stencil sheets in with his Cricut 10 mil. I usually use 5. Do you find that the 10 was pretty good, Bobby? Does that work for you? I'm gonna take a swig of this. Okay. So Ryan says I would try face painting on small kids, but he's afraid the parents wouldn't appreciate the razor blade scratch. Yeah, that would be bad. That's funny. Michael says, Tim, for some reason I thought you were doing Kate Jackson. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a painting that I did a while ago and I never showed anybody. That was just a straight. But I was thinking about doing a painting of Kate Jackson. She's so pretty, you know? Such an elegant lady, definitely. Uh, so yeah, it's the same theme, and so which I like. And yeah, I like working on a theme. You get to explore things that you normally wouldn't. Oh, 5 mil or 7 mil is good too. Very cool, Bobby. Yeah, I used the 5 and I'm pretty good with it. Pretty happy with it. Okay, so right now we're going to work on some of the shadows here on her fur. Some of the cast shadows. And then I'm going to start coming in with the background as well. But I wouldn't want to go straight in with color if I don't have a strong underpainting. Even when I'm working in oils, which I do, a strong underpainting is really helpful. It's like having a plan, which is really good. And right here, we have a nice dark, strong dark right here. And again, perpendicular and not parallel. So I'm really looking for these kind of anchor points. Right in here, some of these nice dark anchor points here. Okay, so now let's just continue working on some of these strong darks for a little bit. Right here. So it's the detail mixture that's watered down or diluted 50-50. So 50% water, 50% of the detail mixture. And it allows me and forces me not to go too dark. That's always a concern. She has on this really wild leather jacket here. Let's get rid of this. I believe I put this in the wrong place. And that happens. And I'll just revisit it. Sometimes you can actually put the dark in the wrong place and the light in the wrong place. And so, but once you see it, you want to address it you don't want to ignore it, right? That's very important. Mr. Steve Leahy, how's it going? Great to see you. How are you? Are you in Massachusetts now, sir? So glad you're here. And so, yes, Michael says I am using the India inks right now. Yes, so this is the detail mixture, and I am diluting that 1-to-1 with water. And you're able to lower that air pressure, and you're able to get detail like unbelievable with this. Very little tip dry as well, but so great when you're looking to uh, kind of map out some of the detail that you'll be working with all the way to the end of the painting. So cool. So great to see you, Steve. So that is great. And so you're in Massachusetts now, sir? Let's see. Okay. We can use the eraser here. Kind of begin the shadows of that hand. And we could just darken some of the fur here. Just giving us a kind of a visual map for when we come in with color a little bit later. And Brad Mummery says, package arrived today in great condition. Sure looks great. Thanks again. Cool. And Steve Leahy says, no plans changed, so you'll be here in Ohio. Oh, okay, great. So still in Ohio. Very cool. It's going to be an Ohio Christmas. That is great. How's the focus? The focus good, guys? So I hope that the everything's in focus. Let me know. Right here, it's nice and dark. We'll hit this dark. So as you can see, I'm kind of working on some of these kind of strong tonal values here. Oh, Brad, thanks. Brad says focus is good. Bobby says that's okay. Gives him time to write up and meet you when you are here. Very cool. So talking about meeting up with Mr. Stephen Leahy, which is cool. Okay, right here we have a little bit of a shadow here. Ah, thanks so much. Michael says it's good, and Bobby says the focus is good. So that's great. Thank you, guys. It's always good to map out the large shapes the best you can. Let's see. We have some darks over here. So when we come back next week, I'll have the underpainting completely done, and then we'll be ready to go right in with Wicked, using Wicked. So that's, and notice that I worked a little bit extra careful on her nose, because in my last painting that was something that was giving me trouble. So one of the things is, when you're working on a painting, just make the next painting a response to the trouble you had in the past painting. And it's very rare that you don't have trouble in a painting. There's always going to be something that's going to give you a little bit of a headache. Darken this. And let's see if I could just kind of calm down the pencil line here in her upper lip. It's a good time as any. Calm down some of these kind of rough pencil lines here. And Ryan says, Tim, this has a nice look with just the light wash and the line drawing. Your work doesn't seem to have that ugly stage a lot of artists go through while working on a piece. Definitely, I appreciate that. But I do, sometimes, like every painting's like a person, right? Some people are just easy like Sunday morning, and some are like, they just not easy. And so, yeah, so this painting is something I kind of planned out. And again, like, the continuity of working is so important, Ryan, because then, like I was just mentioning before, you can use the trials of the last painting as something you're going to plan to not do in the next painting. So some of the problems I had in the last paintings, I'm really addressing now. So yeah, so it's almost like um, I'm even preparing more for what happened last time, so it doesn't happen last time, if that makes sense. And Travis says, hey Steve, mini man with the enormous talent. And Michael says, this week from home I've been doing a lot of brush work on it. Yeah, those paintings were looking amazing, I have to say. You're doing great, Michael, with the cars, man. Just really amazing. Congratulations on them. And I gotta make sure I don't go too dark, because this is an underpainting, right? So it's not a painting in itself, so I have to make sure that I uh, keep it for what it is, right? This is what I'm doing uh, to have a nice structure when I come in with the paint on top. The Wicked paint, which I can't wait. And I really, really love working on Wicked. And I'm also going to be using the gray of the paper as well. And notice, like, when I come into detail, I'm going to increase or decrease, I should say, the distance when I want detail, right? So again, we're gonna zoom in on her eye here and make sure we get everything. There we go. All right, Mr. Steve is back. That's great. And Oh, so Steve says, Travis asked Steve if he's done a self-portrait yet. Very cool. I don't remember seeing a self-portrait of Steve in his body of work yet, but I know he did. He must have. Gonna work on the crease of the upper eyelid here. Go. Oh, look at that. So Ryan suggested a 543 self-port. Oh, he'll do that next week. Oh, you did already. No one wants to see Ryan. That's not true. Everyone wants to see the introspection of the artist. Guys, I am going to use the bathroom. Talks amongst yourselves about Steve and his future self-portrait. I'll be right back, guys, and I'll just zoom out here. There we go. Thanks, guys. Thanks for waiting. So I'm so glad you guys didn't leave me. And I know you guys had some great conversations with Mr. Steve Leahy here. Uh, let's see. Oh, Stormtrooper, very cool. Ah, thanks, guys, for hitting the like button. I appreciate that. So, okay, back with the glasses. And let's see. This is going pretty well. Let's go work on eye number 2. There we go. And maybe we could erase some of these pencil lines here. We don't need them. There we go. And now let's go ahead and work on eye number 2. Just to match the other eye. I like doing the eyes at the same time because then they are symmetrical. Well, symmetrical in the application. Sometimes eyes aren't symmetrical, right? And we're going to do the crease of the upper eyelid here. The detail that you can get with my detail mixture is just incredible. Mr. Brad, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate that. That really helps and just, you know, encourages me and pushes me and helps pay for, you know, the new equipment and everything. So I just want to say thank you so much for that. It just eases the tension of finances and everything, and I can just worry about creating the best possible content for you guys during the guys and girls during the live stream. Like I said, probably about 5 hours today, maybe 3 hours the day before, preparing for this live stream, getting everything ready and for it to go as smooth. Mr. Steve Leahy, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let me give you some smiles and hearts and confetti here. Thank you so much, Mr. Leahy. Brad and Mr. Leahy, thank you so much for spending time on a Wednesday night. It means the world to me. It tells me I'm doing the right thing and that the show must go on. And so thank you very much for you know, hanging out on a Wednesday and then giving the financial support, which is really very encouraging. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, gentlemen. That is so great. And so we're going to continue on her eye here. And this is a good time to kind of erase, get rid of the pencil lines that you don't need. Remember, pencil lines are always what? Pencil lines are always training wheels, and you don't want to take the training wheels before you have balance, right? So that's basically the whole kit and caboodle there. And you see, mapping out exactly what I want to express in the finished painting, you know. And Shine says, okay, what an honor, Mr. Leahy Bucks. Yes, definitely a huge honor. And Ryan says he has to turn in for the night. Say good night. And thanks, Tim. Ah, thank you so much. Have a great night for me, Mr. Ryan. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for the great comments. So hope to see you next week. And maybe around the internet on Facebook or Instagram. So take care of yourself and stay warm out there in Canada. I know you guys have pretty cold winters, that's for sure. It's not winter yet, but we're getting close, right, guys? That's for sure. Let's go ahead and do the shadow on the hair. Wow, Travis, thank you so much, my friend, for this super chat. That means so much. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out on a Wednesday. Thank you for just, your great comments and your expertise and your just on paints and custom painting and everything like that. Thank you so much, and a double thanks for the super chat. It really helps keep things going a lot more than you guys know. So I just want to say thank you so much for keeping this going, and I'm excited. This is a new painting that we're working on. This is stage one, which is always, we're working on the underpainting. And of course, we're going to be working with the Wicked. And one of the artists that really inspired me to work with Wicked is Mr. Steve Leahy. What he does with this stuff is unbelievable. So I'm like, yep, that's what I want to do. I know it's not the easiest route to go, but it was just the one that I was inspired. So definitely, uh, what Steve and Scott McKay, what they do with the Wicked paint is like, that's what I want to do. And so very cool. Hey, RJ Azar, aka Raymond Jackson, how's it going? He said he turned in a bit late, but really would like to catch the full live stream next week. I'm looking for some insight on airbrushing, and it's a medium. This is a great place because you're going to see me painting, right? And you have like experts out there that are always here, RJ. So Raymond, definitely come hang out next week. On my channel, I have all the past live streams working from the beginning to end, and all, so you can look at the playlist. Definitely look at that. I think you really will get a lot from it. So definitely welcome. So glad you're here. We only have a few more minutes, but you can always watch this. It's going to be up and record, so that's cool. So I also recommend looking at Mr. Steve Leahy's live streams on Thursdays. Thursdays at 1. Is that true here? That's Stephen Leahy. And also 6 o'clock on Mondays on Facebook. You're going to learn a lot from him as well. And also Scott McKay, which is... now, what is Scott McKay's live stream on Thursday nights? He's going to have one tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Highly recommend it. I think it's Down and Dirty Tricks, I think, which is really good to look into. But like I was saying earlier, these are mine, and you can purchase them on inkflingers.com, and there's a link in the description, and these are really great for underpaintings when you want to work whether with the illustration colors or you want to work with the Wicked paints. They are fantastic. They work really well with the whole line of Createx, which is really fantastic. So right now I'm going to be working on the cast shadow and also the hairline, right? We don't want it to look like she has a wig on. And so when I'm painting the form, it's always coming from a place of, knowledge of anatomy, because it just helps me. I'm a scientific kind of person, so I want to know what's happening underneath the surface so I can understand what's happening on the surface. And as you can see, her portrait's starting to come together, but it's still nice and loose, which is nice. And let's see. Okay, great. So Steve says he's doing the live stream tomorrow since he'll be home. Scott is a charlatan, cannot be trusted. That's hilarious. And Bobby says, Tim, does your classes geared for beginners like myself, or can you do it for experts? All levels, I believe my classes are for all levels. And if you take my one-on-one class, which is the mentorship, I meet you where you are. and then we go from there. So if you're at level 1, we start at level 1. If we're on level 15, we start at level 15, which is really great. And so yes, I do have expert students and I do have beginner students, and it's important to keep the students, for me, keep the students encouraged, right? It's more important to encourage your student than to give them the, you know, the best results. I think encouragement and motivation and inspiration is probably the key to that. Oh man, look at that, Mr. Air Todd with the $20 super chat. Once again, happy birthday to Mr. Todd. And Todd, I always love having you in the live stream. It's always fantastic. You always have great ideas and some funny jokes, and it's always great to see you. And Todd, I really wish you a very happy birthday. And also, I hope on Sunday when you celebrate it, it's just really exciting. So thank you on your birthday. Let me give you some birthday confetti here, some hearts and some hundreds, and there you go. So thank you so much for that. That is so great. And Travis says, yes, nothing but awesome to you online creators. Learn something new every day, even if it's just a little, still learn. Thank you so much, Mr. Travis. And Brad says, Bobby, Tim is an amazing teacher. He sure has taken his art to levels he wouldn't dream possible. Thank you. Brad's been with me 4 years in January. So that's amazing. So he's been studying me 4 years, and he's having a one artist show in June. So like I said, it's taking you where you are, and each week taking you a little further to where you can become, right? And where you become has no ceiling. So you can be as great as you envision it, right? There's no ceilings. So it just is. So that's one of the exciting things about teaching for me, is that I love it when my students are doing things that they didn't think they were able to do, or maybe they didn't think they would, get to that level. But that's the fun of teaching. Plus, as Mr. Steve will attest, is you learn so much from your students. You learn the way they look at things differently is really refreshing, and it helps me to get out of any kind of mannerisms I might have or something like that. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to hold it down, and what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to hit it with a magnet because I want to darken right behind her ear. It's a nice anchor point. Let's see. And we're just going to hit that right here. Like I said, the shape often is revealed by the adjacent shape more than the shape itself. And right here along the mandible or the jawline is basically an indication of that. I made sure I didn't get too saturated because you can oversaturate the paper and then you stain, and then it's something you have to deal with throughout the rest of the painting. So that's important not to let that happen. Brad says Tim's classes are a great value. Thank you so much, sir. And so thank you, Brad, for that. And Travis says, I hate when people say I can't draw a stick man. Nobody tries. Yeah, I believe everyone can be an artist. The difference is whether or not you have the desire. And if someone has a desire, in my classes, I will make you the artist you never dreamed you could. But those are what my teachers taught me, so I'm kind of carrying the tradition. So guys, it is 11:30. Thank you so much for an amazing evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats. You guys are just out of this world. Thank you, Mr. Todd. Thank you, Travis and Steve Leahy and Brad. I want to see if it goes back further enough. Thank you, Michael McClung. Thank you, Mike Severino. Thank you, I said Travis and Ryan. I think I said Travis. I think that's everybody. Just thank you so much for everything. And I want to say, you know, you guys are great. Did Travis give two super chats? Let me see. I think you might have gave two. In any case, thank you everybody. So this is the second episode in the new studio. Thank you for dealing with my growing pains, and I hope you all have a great rest of the week. You guys are amazing, and thank you for being my friends. I really appreciate it.